Sports on Tap Detroit, brought to you by the Realtors of the Joe Wright Group, Jason Stiltner of Flagstar Bank, Time Out with Steven Scott, presented by Baldman Entertainment.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen.
I need all of you to stop what you're doing and listen.
We are tonight's entertainment.
We're here to fuck shit up.
Sports the way it should be. Nothing sugar-coated, with loaded with all the information you wanted. From legends to prospects, nothing's off limits. Chris and Joe be taking on all topics with no stopping. They keep it rolling and going and ball hopping at a rate that's hard stopping. With news that's jaw dropping, they're getting it in. Sports Center competition, man, they in it to win. This ain't a fluke, from Carolina to Duke, from MSU to Michigan. You'll know if you listening, if you ain't, you missing it. All the excitement, they shock like a thundercloud and ride with lightning. Get it together, you know ain't nobody better. Bring heat than cold weather. You better put on a sweater, you better just let it go and all come and attack. Sit back, relax, let's tell them it's on tap.
We'll do it live. Fuck it.
Welcome to Sports on Tap, the NFL/college football extravaganza. I'm Chris Scott, alongside Joe Waddell and Frank Gigata. Gentlemen, how are we?
Good. I'm good.
Are you asking or telling?
How are you? It's a question mark, actually. It's good.
All right.
Good?
Good, I guess, yeah.
Good.
All right, man.
Frank?
Good.
That was a statement. That was a statement.
Yeah,
I want to
that
make sure it
was-
came out clear.
That was
good.
Good. Okay,
That was
that's.
def-
I'm
that was
happy. I'm happy
definitive.
to hear that. That's
That was definitive.
That is a
That
definitive
was.
good.
so. Football. Yeah. What? We got-
Tonight is the last episode of Hard Knocks.
I literally only watched the first one.
I've watched them all, unfortunately.
Yeah.
It's so, and I get called a hater. Like my buddy Sammy called me a hater the other day because
Because you are.
I was at. Well, I mean, yes, but
You're not, but you are.
yes, but not in everything I say.
Right. That's why
I-
I say
I hate
you
them.
do hate them, but you're not a hater.
Yeah, not in what I'm going to say about Hard Knocks.
Right.
It's been kind of boring.
Yeah, I haven't enjoyed it. And that's
Okay,
as
and
a
you're
fan.
and you're a Lions
Yeah.
fan, so I'm not wrong. He called me a hater, said he really enjoyed it, and I'm like, it's been kind of boring. Like they're literally concentrating on like 3 guys that aren't going to make the fucking team.
Yeah, well,
Like-
literally everybody they focused on didn't make the team.
Oh well, yeah. So I mean, it hasn't been enjoyable to me. I've watched it because I pretty much watch it every year. I think last year was the only year I didn't watch it, but I actually didn't have HBO last year, so I didn't have any way to watch it. I didn't miss it, but.
I don't regret watching it. It's not been that bad, but
I mean, every episode, Dan Campbell is giving me more things to make another video of him of.
We need that.
Yeah.
We need that on Sunday.
I have it right now if you want it.
Hey man, if that, you got it, let it rip, man.
So this is a preview of what you're going to get on tonight's Hard Knocks.
Nice.
All right, ladies and gentlemen.
If you smell what the dude is cooking.
I wanted this job bad.
And I am a motivational speaker.
All right, here's what I know.
Yeah.
This community is strong. This place has been kicked, it's been battered, it's been bruised.
We just might blow the whole planet up, you know.
I can sit up here and give you coach speak all day long. None of that matters, and you guys don't want to hear it anyway.
I'm sick and tired of living in a van down by the river.
Here's what I do know. You've had enough of that shit.
Yeah.
This city's been down, and it found a way to get up. We're going to kick you in the teeth.
Well, you know, me and Gene, we really don't know what we're dealing with here, man.
All right, and when you punch us back, we're going to smile at you, and when you knock us down,
Grab his dick and twist it.
we're going to get up. And on the way up, we're going to bite a kneecap off.
Twist it, dude.
All right, and we're going to stand up, and then it's going to take 2 more shots to knock us down.
Reckless abandon.
All right, and on the way up, we're going to take your other kneecap,
I didn't blame anyone for the loss of my legs.
and we're going to get up, and then it's going to take 3 shots to get us down.
I don't give a rat's behind.
And when we do, we're going to take another hunk out of you.
I'll bite your legs off.
We're gonna wrestle around.
Before long, we're going to be the last one standing.
You're not going to amount to jack squat. Yeah. I'm the dude.
can I ask a serious question?
That's outstanding.
And this is from listening to all this guy's motivational speeches. Is he a cannibal?
We don't care if you have 3
One
toe-
ass cheek and 3 toes.
So if you have 1 ass cheek and 3 toes, we're going to beat your ass. Well, I mean, you can beat
can
half
beat
of
your cheek, I
You
guess.
can beat half of his ass, I
Right.
guess, because he
Like,
only
he's
has 1 ass
talking
cheek.
about taking hunks out of people and shit. Like, this guy's really got some sort of fetish for missing body limbs.
Yeah.
I got it. I mean,
I don't
remember when you played that last year, and it was just as funny today as it was last year. Like, I'm not even kidding. It's great.
It's only funny to me because I'm like, oh god, this is real.
But you're such a hater.
Like,
I am a hater.
You're a hater, bro.
I'm a hater.
that's why I say, I mean, I will defend the people that call you a hater. Yeah, you're 100% right. He's just not a hater in the context you're using it.
But yes, going back to Hard Knocks, like I said, I've literally watched 1 episode of it, and I was just kind of like, it was cool seeing the I guess the friendly rivalry or whatever between Aaron Glenn and
That was enjoyable.
that was cool. I did like that, but other than that, I didn't find it interesting like at all.
And so you only watched 1 episode.
That's why I only watched 1 episode.
You haven't missed anything.
All right then.
It's
I
been
was going to
it's
say, episode 2, you got to watch Aiden Hutchinson and some big O lineman that got cut take a ice bath together and talk about
Yep.
nothing.
Yep.
Oh, okay.
I don't even remember episode 3 or 4.
Yeah.
And then tonight, everything else has been so bad they're bringing an Eminem on it.
Yeah, apparently.
I did see that.
apparently Eminem's
I
gonna be
did
on.
see that in a preview for this episode
Yeah.
that Eminem was at training camp.
I think the ratings have been down so bad they had to promote Eminem for
I
it.
guess I don't know.
I
but-
honestly think that's why he's there. I think the series has been that bad that they're not getting the eyes that they brought him into practice. just for
Which
that
in all
reason.
honesty, I got to the intro for this series of Hard Knocks is pretty fucking cool,
awesome.
actually. Like it's pretty cool that like they incorporated the Motor City aspect, building the cars and all, like working city, the blue collar. I thought the intro was really cool. Like if I was a Lions fan, I would have dug the intro for the Hard Knocks.
Oh, I'm ready to run through a wall. Like
Well,
every fucking Lions fan has said. Once this thing first premiered,
right?
Like Lions Twitter blew up. I'm ready to run through a wall. I'm ready to run through. Stop! No, you're not. Stop it.
I said that last year. That we're gonna take a hunk out of them. They're fucking kneecap. Yeah, that speech had me ready. Now it's just like Joe said. It's a wrestling promo at this point.
That speech. See, that's where I was. I may be a hater, but I was ahead of the curve on that one.
Right.
When he gave that speech, I went, "What is he, fucking Randy Macho Man Savage out here? What the fuck is going on?"
And at that point, I'm like, okay, fine. Yeah, it's definitely a promo. There's no two ways about that. But okay, this guy's gonna cut a decent promo every now and then, or 3 times a game.
So yeah, like I said, I after that first one, I'm just like, all right, whatever. I'm done with it. I'll let you Lion slaps fucking drink the Kool-Aid, and of course, even these betting people are drinking the Kool-Aid. Like the Lions' odds to like actually do something this year, like skyrocketed after like the first episode. I'm like, why? Do you not know this franchise has been absolute dog shit for like basically its existence
But
forever?
that means nothing about this year, Chris.
Oh my god.
It's true. This year hasn't happened yet. We don't know how
That
this
means
year's gonna-
nothing, Chris.
Everybody's seen the movie, man.
It
Generally know how it ends.
this is a different movie.
Now, do I think this team will be better this year? Yes, I do. 100%. I believe they will be better this year.
I agree with you.
I think you're going to get a team that's going to continue to build off of how bad they were last year.
Well,
So maybe a 4-win, maybe a 5-win team.
I could
but
see like 5 or 6 wins. Absolutely, I could see that. Like I don't think they're going to be anywhere near being a playoff contender like some of these idiots think.
I think they top out at 5.
Okay, I'll say
So
their max is 7. That's
See,
for me. Their max is 7.
Their max is 6 for me.
Okay.
But, so we're close on that one.
Yeah.
And I think they're actually a 5-win team. And I'm gonna tell you again. So we're gonna look at stats, and this isn't really stats, but I'm gonna throw this one out there for you. Do you know I believe there's only 4 teams that have 0 players out of the top 100 that is voted on by their peers.
Mm-hmm.
Zero. There's 4 teams, and those 4 teams are the Texans. Not a surprise.
No.
The Jets. Not a surprise.
Okay.
The Jaguars. Not a surprise. And the Lions.
Not surprised.
So to me, not a surprise. But depending on who you ask, it's a fucking huge surprise because they got T.J. Hawkinson and they've got Amon-Ra St. Brown and they've got DeAndre Swift and they've got all these weapons and they've got Aiden Hutchinson and they've got all these they're voted on by the peers. Voted on by their peers. There's 0 top 100 players on this fucking team.
So I understand that fantasy rankings aren't necessarily the same rankings as how people end up in football.
But people use those rankings.
Right.
As people use that like analytics in baseball.
Right. But even if we're going off of that, Hawkinson's only the 8th best tight end.
Right.
Like, I'm not saying that he's not number 5, 6,
Right.
7, whatever. But even if you're using fake stats, he's still only the 8th.
Right.
Yeah.
Like, at no way
I
is
mean-
anyone putting him up there.
There's one again. This is the top 100 players in the NFL, and again, they're voted on by their peers who play against them, who are out there with them. 0.
Yeah.
So you can't tell me this team is going to go from 3 wins to a playoff team with 0 top 100 players voted on by their peers.
Especially
I'm sorry.
with a
It's just,
gimmick of a head coach.
Right. It's just not happening. And listen, if he succeeds, it's going to be because of the people that he's hired underneath him. If there's one thing he can do, he's hired some people that are good. I'll give him credit for that one.
Yeah,
absolutely.
As will I.
Absolutely.
I love the way that staff looks. That's the one thing I've taken out of Hard Knocks that I'm like, okay, they need talent. Talent's desperately needed, but the coaching staff's at least right.
And I just
Or
said
I feel they're right.
I just said something nice about the Lions by saying they have a good coaching staff and Dan Campbell hired them. I have to say something negative. Playoff wins since 2000. Every single franchise in the NFL has a playoff win since 2000. The Lions haven't won one since 1992.
91.
Well, yeah.
Yeah. All right. So before we get
Actually, it was January 5th, 1992. 91 season.
but you know what I mean.
Yes.
You know what I mean. Yes.
Yes.
No, it was 1992, Chris. Give them the credit they deserve.
Never. Absolutely not.
If we can shorten this streak by one day, damn it, we're gonna do it.
It was actually on my birthday in 1992 that they won their last playoff
Against
game.
Dallas? Yeah. All right. So before we get into like all the NFL, because we have a shitload of NFL stuff that we're going to get to here
Yep.
in a little bit. Let's knock out this college stuff.
Yeah,
that
let's get into
happens-
college.
that's happened this past
Yeah.
weekend.
And it's not going to be all NFL. I know we kind of build it as that, but we also have the game day show on Sunday. So
Yes.
from 10:30 to 12:30 or 10:30 till whenever, really.
It's only go to like noonish.
Noon.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
12.
everybody can get home, watch games. and
12
shit, yeah.
ish. Sometimes we've extended it to 12:30 on accident,
Yes.
but we're going to go over a lot of stuff on Sunday. So we'll do some stuff today, but we
That's
do
how
wanna-
I'm going to set my fantasy line. It's going to be great.
We do want to talk about
We're doing it on Sunday.
Chris had his first fantasy draft.
My first auction fantasy draft.
and your first fantasy draft in how many years?
At least a decade.
Oh, yeah.
At least.
Yeah.
Probably a little bit longer, honestly.
And before we get into college, real quick, he brought it up.
Yeah.
What did you think?
I loved it. I thought it was great.
I was
Yeah.
gonna say, did we steer you wrong on anything?
No,
we
you guys
told
didn't. I had a blast there. It was fantastic.
The auctions are so much more fun than just snake draft.
Oh, 100%.
Yeah.
When I went into work today, one of the guys I work with, he had a draft this past weekend too, but it was like a normal snake draft.
Yeah.
And I told him, I was like, dude, do the auction draft. It's so much more fun because you get people, they just try to outbid each other over players. There was a couple times me and you looked at each other, we're just like, are you fucking kidding me?
That's it. I
T.
was
Higgins for $30.
I was looking at Frank a couple times too. I'm like,
There's absolutely a few times I
Fucking-
brought up a player
Oh,
just to drive that fucking price up, to
Yep.
see how high they'd go.
Yep.
The one surprise in this draft, him bidding on Scary Terry.
yeah,
Oh yeah, because of Carson.
yeah.
I'm looking at Joe like
But
he knows, right?
we
I'm counting on Tyler Heineken to fucking throw the ball to him.
so we both gave each other the Frank look.
Oh, yeah.
As you were bidding on Scary Terry because we're like,
like literally, I had my head.
do you know who's
completely-
throwing him the football, Chris?
I told you Tyler Heineken's going to be throwing him the football. I'm not worried
I
about
was
it.
completely in front of Dave. I don't even know how Dave saw the bid still going because I was just, what is he doing? I think at one point I texted the group. I was like, Joe, stop him.
I did. I saw the text message. I was like, what?
Stop him.
But yes, I figured I'm like, well, again, I think at some point Tyler or Taylor Heineken, whatever the fuck his name is going to be throwing him the ball. So what the hell? I needed to fill up my roster anyway. So.
And listen,
And I got him for cheap. So.
We
You
joke.
did get him for cheap.
You got him for cheap. We joke around too, and think about the guys that Terry McLaurin actually has had throwing him the football.
Right.
Carson Wentz is actually an upgrade over those guys. As much as you want to dog him, I mean,
He won't admit that.
that's the sad part though. Is like Carson Wentz is actually an upgrade over almost all of those players, and it's Carson Wentz.
Is he an upgrade over Fitzpatrick?
Yeah.
Okay.
Now Fitzpatrick throws a great deep ball, but
And that's why I said, like, I think they're comparable quarterbacks. They're just better in different
so
areas.
I'll give you this about Wentz, and then we can get into
I
college.
mean, Wentz is still playing, so I mean that's obviously one big
Wentz
thing he's
is
got on him.
Wentz is the guy that he can quietly get the job done and then give you one goof in the entire game that is the biggest goof you've ever seen in your life, and it's going to go viral.
Hey.
Because it's going to be because it's the biggest, dummest thing you've ever seen.
I don't care as
Like,
long as Terry McLaurin gets his
no,
fucking
I
numbers.
know,
I don't give a shit.
no, I know. I'm just talking about Carson Wentz. Like that's where it comes from. He's an okay quarterback. He can get the job done, but then once a game,
He goes
he's going to
Carson
make
Wentz.
the biggest Carson Wentz fucking fuck up you've ever seen. And he gets labeled like that because it's the biggest one you see. It'll go viral. It'll be on ESPN. It'll be all over TikTok and fucking Instagram and Twitter. And it's just everyone looks at it and goes, "Holy shit!"
McAfee makes 37 posts a day involving it with 18 jokes over top. Yep.
Yep.
I know exactly what you're talking about.
So, anyway,
Yeah.
on to college football.
On to college football, which I'm just Saturday was awesome. I loved it. I watched football
phenomenal.
all day. It was great. I loved it. Loved every minute of it. Don't remember some of it, but that happens. that happens when you start drinking at 11:30. You don't get done until like 10 or 11 that night. So
yeah, holy shit.
I was gonna say,
Yeah,
I had the double TV running on Saturday. I had to start. The Michigan game was on the small one, and I had the Taylor Hawkins concert on.
Okay.
Because they did that live.
Yeah, I
from,
saw that, yeah.
From over. In
Oh,
England.
that was
phenomenal.
Yeah, that was good.
They're gonna do another one stateside at the end of the month.
Nice.
And then after that was done, I switched over to wrestling, and then right into that Notre Dame game.
Nice. Speaking of the Notre Dame game, Frankie was the resident Notre Dame fan at this table. What'd you think?
That's on my team. I don't know who that team was. I'm happy they showed up.
Honestly, I didn't think either team looked all that good, to be honest
They
with you.
didn't look great.
No.
but
I get it's the first game of the year.
They played a
I understand
competitive
that.
game. I'm going to take it and run with it.
I didn't think Ohio State looked all that good, and I didn't think Notre Dame looked all that good.
I'm kind of expecting Notre Dame to fall by the end of the year somewhere between like 18 and 20, with just the way I saw them play. But you know, I'll take where are they at now? 8 and 9, depending on which poll you look at.
Yeah.
I still think it's a little bit generous for the game that was played, but you're not going to be able to drop Ohio State that far with a win. So
Fair enough. And then we saw like another game, which was supposed to be a decent game. One of the games we actually picked last week was Georgia-Oregon. God, what a disaster that turned out to be. Oregon. You got Mario Cristobal has to be like, thank God I left that disaster. Like seriously, what a dumpster fire. I was actually excited for that game too. I was like, I think this will be a decent game. I think Georgia will win. I think it's going to be a decent game. Yeah, it was anything but a decent game.
in both polls, Ohio State got 2 first-place votes.
Did they really?
Yeah.
Okay.
I just now looked at that, and I was like, how the hell do you get a first-place vote after that game?
The Utah-Florida game was good. I thought for sure that was going to be a good game. It was. I thought Utah was going to go down to the Swamp and beat Florida. I'm kind of surprised at that result.
Florida looked good though.
They did look solid. I can't deny that. What was another one? Oh, Virginia Tech lost to Old Dominion, which is awesome.
Aren't they a band?
One game that really infuriated me was the North Carolina State East Carolina game. Fucking kickers, man. Fucking kickers. You have one job. Kick the fucking ball through the uprights. Oh, Frank, you know how much that just drives me fucking
We talked
crazy.
about it this weekend.
I hate it.
It's part of why I was okay with getting you in the league. Like, it's an ongoing joke in that fantasy league to get rid of those kickers.
I fucking hate kickers so much.
And I keep
really do.
fighting it, but I don't really care what happens. So I keep loading up Dave's side and keep supporting the loading up of Dave's side the whole time just because it's funny, because it creates turmoil in the league.
Fair enough. And then, we'll get to the local teams. Michigan houses Colorado State 51-7. However, what comes out of that game is I think you now have a full-blown quarterback controversy in Ann Arbor.
You don't have a biblical situation.
Yeah, right.
You already had one.
I know, but I think now it's to the point where
It's a controversy now.
it
It's no
can't
longer biblical.
it can't be ignored anymore. Like to the point where you got to pick one or the other, man.
Mm-hmm.
Like you got to. I think he was trying to keep them both happy, but I think now you have to make a choice and
Pick your horse and understand next year the other one's gone.
yeah, and especially because Cade didn't seem too happy about JJ coming in or JJ starting this coming week against Hawaii. Which to me it's just like, well, you know what? Be fucking better then. Make it obvious so the other guy can't beat you out.
Well,
And if you're gonna pout about it, then you're not the guy.
no.
You know?
And I mean, I don't take too much out of that. I think McNamara is that's kind of his attitude anyway. Like he's kind of just that brooding, weird dude. You know what I mean? Like, he is, man. No matter what he answers, it comes across as like kind of pouting, brooding kind of way. You know what I mean? Like it's always been that way. But let's face it, we all know Michigan and Harbaugh wanted McCarthy to win the job. Mm-hmm. They wanted him to win the job. He just didn't because he had an injury during spring.
He did.
He didn't play during spring, so it was McNamara playing, but McNamara didn't necessarily stand out and do anything great.
And that should tell you something about McNamara.
Well, but again, McCarthy hasn't really stood out and done anything great either. They keep wanting him to win the job.
No, I agree with you.
But he hasn't separated himself, and what Michigan would rather happen is have McCarthy go out there and just look all world, and then they can go, all right, we knew it. This is the guy.
Yeah.
But
they've seen nothing to support that.
They've done neither one of them has done anything to separate themselves. So Michigan and Harbaugh don't get what they want because Harbaugh would look like an asshole at this point if he just unseated McNamara because he took them to a Big Ten championship last year and took them to playoffs. So he can't unseat him completely without a J.J. McCarthy separating himself in some way, and he hasn't done it.
And he also stands to look like the biggest asshole in the world for saying that combination is biblical. Like, don't get me wrong, dude. You're in a good situation. You're debating between two quarterbacks who are good. They're not great.
You have two above-average quarterbacks.
Yeah,
That's what you
like.
have.
You have a very good system, but at one point there was Tim Tebow and Cam Newton on the same team.
Right.
Look at what they did.
Yeah.
You want to start calling something biblical? Like, let's look at those duos.
Yeah,
like no pun intended with Tebow, but like
that's a good
it
one.
is what
I
it
didn't
is.
think about that. That's a good one. I didn't think about that.
So, I mean, that's kind of what came out. We knew Michigan was going to take care of business, and they did.
Right.
But you got kind of that subplot to come out of that game. I mean, we'll see how it plays because McCarthy's going to start against Hawaii. And we'll kind of see how that goes. And then I think after that, I think you've got to make a call, one way or the other.
Honestly, what I think they need to do, and I feel weird booking a Michigan team right now, but you need to drop Cade. Not drop him, but drop him down to that backup role. And you need to give JJ the opportunity going forward. Regardless of what teams you're playing, he's only going to either look good or you're going to know right away he's not the guy.
Well, see, to me, this last game, Cade McNamara didn't do anything really good.
No.
In that game. And
he's just a feasible option.
And then JJ came in, and then the game was a blowout, so
Right.
they let the third string dude come in.
That's why I said let him prove it against the fucking first string.
So that's what's going to happen this next game. It's going to be JJ for the first
Right.
half, and then after the first half, they're probably going to be winning by a lot. So I would venture to guess we're going to see Cade in the second half, and then a little bit after that, we're going to see the third string do it again. Because Harbaugh is nothing if not predictable.
Oh yeah, absolutely he is. And how shitty is
right.
that the game this coming weekend is a friggin' night game?
I
guess Hawaii, really?
I mean, I'm okay with it though because
It's here, right?
Yeah.
Well, that's why it's a night game, because
I get it, but it's
8
like
o'clock game
I feel
is
like I feel like night games at Michigan Stadium should be for like
big games.
big. You know what I'm saying?
I'm
Okay,
I'm
that's
okay
fair.
with it only because I'm not going to watch that game anyway. But I like the night games because at my point in my life, it's hard for me to watch the afternoon games, the college afternoon games. So I like watching some night games. So I'm okay with as many night games as we can put out there. I'm fine with that.
Fair.
But with Michigan, I don't give a shit because I'm not going to watch it anyway. So
honestly, I used to feel that way about the 10 o'clock Red Wing game.
yeah,
Especially when I was working nights and everything. Like, it just worked better for my schedule at that point. But I get why everybody hates it, too.
I mean, I get it. For
You don't
me,
wanna watch the
I'm
tail
happy
end of
about it.
Right.
Like, I have a choice. Like, I devote my Sunday afternoons to football. And I can't devote 2 afternoons in the same weekend to football because I have other shit I need to take care of.
Man, it's so nice not having a kid and being able to do whatever I want whenever I want.
Yeah.
It's fucking amazing. I love it.
I get up 5 minutes before kickoff. I can sit there, just like, all right. I guess I'll get up.
It's
and
so
go
nice to
sit
be
in
able
my
to
chair.
devote both days of my weekend to
Yeah.
watching football. It's great.
Well, okay.
As for Michigan State,
You know, having a kid has its pluses too, man. I just got to throw that out there. I feel like I need to defend it a little bit.
okay, man.
I mean, in a smart ass way, Chris is right. In a serious way, Joe, I'm sure you are.
God, I'm really,
But-
I'm really sick of doing whatever I want whenever I want.
Right, that's what I'm saying. In a smart ass way, that's great. But I've also never had kids, so I don't really know how that side of things is. So Joe's probably right. But right now, I'm taking your side.
I wouldn't trade it, but
No, I know you
but
wouldn't.
but,
Yeah,
but,
Raylan's
but
awesome.
fuck off.
Yeah, no, Raylan's awesome. Don't get me wrong.
And I can do what I want on a Saturday.
But I can. It's
I
great.
know.
It was great. I was like, do I want to watch football? Do I want to watch a concert? Do I want to watch? Fuck, what do I want to watch? I watch anything I want to.
Do I want to watch SpongeBob? No.
I tell you, that's one thing I did not. Actually, Funny you mentioned that because Matt Riddle's wrestling tights were actually the SpongeBob print. So in a way, I did watch SpongeBob. In that Clash at the Castle match, he had the green shorts with the pink. Yep, he's giving me the look again.
Yep, that's the look. It's
You
the
were
Frank-
watching
that's
the fucking thing.
That's the Frank look. All right, back to college football.
Yes. Anyways.
He always gives me this fucking look.
So yeah, Michigan State, they took on Western. They handled their business. They honestly, I thought they looked pretty decent. But again, it's Western. It's in East Lansing.
Dude, we spent
It's the
3
first-
quarters. I thought State was going to choke that game away.
Really?
Yes.
No, I had full confidence that they were going to win that game.
I was watching that thing going, State's going to fuck this up.
I mean, don't get me wrong. It would have been great if they did, because just absolutely ripped Michigan State if they lost that game. But
They just look like one of those teams where it's like, hey, cool, they might win some games, but they're going to lose some games they probably should have won.
I mean, I was looking at their quarterback. He looks like an actual quarterback this year. Like he knows what the fuck he's doing.
He does.
So I mean, that's good for Michigan State. I agree with you, Frank. I think it's going to be like a season that they're going to win some games they shouldn't win, and they're going to lose some games.
Like, in all honesty, you may get the Michigan game against Sparty fans.
But
Wouldn't
surprise me in the least.
You also may lose to fucking Akron this weekend. Like, you tell me what you want more, but this year's highlight may honestly be getting a win against a team like Michigan or Ohio
I can
State
see that.
and
Absolutely.
nothing else.
100%.
If you get that.
Like we talked about last week, that game against Ohio State, you know they're going to have a chip on their shoulder for that game.
Yeah.
You know they're going to. So I think they could pull off like an upset like that. I could absolutely see that happening. But again, I could see there's some games that you're like, okay, how the hell did you lose that? But anyways, before we hit up we're going to jump into the NFL. Yeah. I think we covered college enough.
Yeah?
You think so?
I mean, that's up to you, bro. You're more the college guy.
I
I'm
was gonna
down
say,
to talk whatever you want to talk.
I'll ask you a quick question because I didn't actually watch your boys this weekend. How did they look?
Their offense looked fantastic. Their
Okay.
defense needs some work.
We're talking about the U, by the way.
Yeah,
The
we're
U,
talking about
Miami.
Miami. Yeah, their offense looked really good. Tyler Van Dyke is a fucking stud. But yeah, their defense needs a little bit of work. They gave up. They gave a lot.
talking about shorts. He's calling dudes studs. I get
stud,
made
man.
fun of for shorts
What are you looking at some dude's shorts for?
I say,
because I was watching wrestling.
have you ever watching wrestling paid attention to any dude's like wrestling attire,
You've
especially
never
below
paid-
especially below the waist?
Not really, no.
All right then.
No. I gotta agree with him on this one.
Okay. I was gonna say you've honestly.
Sorry, I don't want to see what it says on some dude's crotch. I just don't.
No, that I don't want to see.
But you did. You literally told me what
mean,
it was on his crotch.
I couldn't tell you what specifically was on his crotch, but
it
I
a
can tell you
SpongeBob?
the print on the shorts.
Oh, it was just print on the shorts. It wasn't necessarily on the.
It was like the little purple, the fucking weird things that SpongeBob has. I don't watch SpongeBob, so I don't know.
I don't know anything about this conversation.
I got nothing on this.
I'm actually
I'm
lucky.
going to stop defending myself here because it's just going even worse.
I'm actually lucky. Raylan doesn't like SpongeBob, so I have no clue what you're fucking
Okay.
talking about. I've really never seen much of SpongeBob.
But you know who does know what they're talking about?
With SpongeBob?
Jason Stilton from Flagstar Bank.
You know that's right. If you're a homeowner or looking to be a first-time home buyer, give Jason Stiltner, Senior Loan Officer at Flagstar Bank, a call today at 248-752-3631. Jason has great mortgage programs for first-time home buyers, including down payment assistance options and excellent interest rates. Again, give my guy Jason Stiltner from Flagstar Bank a call today at 248-752-3631 and get the excellent service you deserve. Flagstar Bank, Equal Housing Lender, member FDIC, NMLS number 27546.
Bingo bango.
There you go.
There's a goal for the Wings. I'm happy about that.
I'm happy about that.
All right, Joe. This is where we get into our big time NFL.
Okay.
We'll call this Joe's Corner.
Joe's corner. This is Joe's
Joe's coach's corner.
This is Joe's turf right here. This is yeah.
All right, so we're going to start off with a little bit of NFL preview.
Yeah.
Like I said, we have the show on Sunday.
Yeah.
Sunday game day starts at 10:30.
We'll preview all the games. You get your fantasy advice, betting advice,
We
etc.
go through every game other than the Thursday game, obviously, and we'll give you betting advice. We'll give you fantasy football advice, everything. But today we're going to preview a little bit of the NFL, a little bit of fantasy, and just kind of dive into some questions. I've got quote unquote 20 questions that I've gone through and answered, and I want to get the answers from you guys.
The not so subtle jab at us
That
that I've gone through.
Well, I did. I'm just saying I went through and answered them, and it was I sent it to you guys 2 weeks ago. I can't help it if you didn't remember.
Like any of my teachers would tell you, I didn't do my homework. Shit happens, man.
So, yeah, it happens. It is what it is. You guys, these are all questions you can answer on the fly anyway, I think.
For the most part, I think so.
So, first we're going to start off with AFC champions. And who do you have?
Frank?
I'll answer mine first. I'll give you guys time to think about it. I went with the Bills.
Okay.
It was a tough choice for me between the Bills and the Chargers because I think both teams are going to be pretty dominant this year. I think Kansas City's lost a little bit too much on that offense. I think their defense is suspect, as they showed in that game against Buffalo.
Very suspect.
So I'm looking at the Bills. If that defense can actually stop teams, unlike in that game against Kansas City, that offense is almost unstoppable. So I think they're going to be even better this year on offense, and that defense is going to hold up.
And I think they're actually going to start incorporating the run into their offense. Yeah, it's hard to pick against the Bills. I'm looking at it. I would love to sit here and lie to you guys and be like, the Raiders are going to do it. But I honestly, I don't. Whoever walks out of the AFC West isn't going to be walking out. They're getting carried out.
Yeah.
Like, that
I
is
would
going to
agree
be
with
a bloodbath. And just based on that, yeah, I think the Bills will be able to take it just because that division will kill itself off. And they're definitely better than the other two. I mean, Baltimore might give them a little bit of trouble, but yeah, I'll take Buffalo as well.
You know how much I hate picking my own teams. But I think the Bills finally get it done and get out of the AFC, get to the Super Bowl. Whether they win or not, that's a different story. But I think they finally get there. They finally get the quote-unquote monkey off their back. And honestly, they'll probably have to go through Kansas City to do it, or Kansas City will have to go through them to do it, whatever.
Right.
Yeah, I think the Bills finally do it this year. And I hate picking that, but I think this is finally their time.
All right.
Especially after what happened last year.
Chris, you took the Bills. Frank, you took.
Yep, I got them all on here.
Oh, you're doing it?
Yep.
Okay.
I'm putting it right on that spreadsheet.
All right. Well, that makes it easier for me then.
Yep.
All right. All right. Next up, NFC champions. And I'll just go for all these. I'll just lead off with what I got.
Yeah.
For this one's a tough one for me because you have the defending champions who really have technically gotten better. The only thing that is a knock for me on the Rams is Stafford's arm issue. And I'll be honest with you, I think that's going to creep up during the season.
Says everything's good now.
He says everything's good now.
Right.
But things don't just miraculously get better.
Agreed.
And I'm going to go with a surprising one here because when you look across the NFL in the NFC, you look at the NFC is not really full of dominant teams.
It isn't.
So I'm looking at what could be a dominant defense and a somewhat surprising offense with a young quarterback.
You son of a bitch, you're going to take exactly what I was going to take.
And I'm going to take the 49ers.
Okay. You're not taking who I thought you'd take. I am taking the Philadelphia Eagles.
That was a close second for me. That was a very close second for me.
It's who I was just sitting here looking at going, I could pick the Eagles. But, man, if they lose the Lions in week 1, I'm going to get fucking ripped for it. But I don't know why. I look at them, and I just look at the things they've done with their offense. Jalen Hurts is going to take that step this year.
If he doesn't take it this year, he ain't never going to take it.
I think he's got everything set up for him to do it. That offensive line's looking
I'm a big
lot
fan
better.
of that team, and I love that you both like them. I'm picking them to win that division for sure.
Oh, I said it.
For sure.
I said it on draft night. I was
Yeah.
picking them to win that division.
Yeah.
I mean, you got Hurts and Smith who already have chemistry. They didn't look great, but they looked pretty good together last
Yep.
year. And now you add in a guy like A.J. Brown.
Yep.
You've got Miles Sanders in the backfield who's still going to be able to do his. I think that offense
I don't
is
necessarily
gonna
trust
surprise
Miles,
people.
but listen, Miles is okay, and then you've got Gainwell back there. You got Scott back there.
But if
You've
we're,
got
if we're
Goddard
talking
at the
about
tight end.
putting him out in the slot,
Yeah.
like flexing your back out into the slot, that's where I want Sanders.
You've got a good offense there.
Right.
You've got a team that they can compete.
Mm-hmm. Joe, you had taken the Niners?
Yes.
Okay.
And you both took Philly?
I'm taking Philly.
Wow, look at you guys.
I
That
was-
was actually a close second for me. I'm not gonna lie to you.
I was trying to come up with something else, but if we're going there, I'll go there with you.
All right, next one up is sleeper team. Excuse me, and Frank, you're gonna like this one.
Oh yeah?
I'm gonna go with the Raiders.
Damn you.
That's what I was going with this well. 100%.
The Raiders are gonna beat the hell out of some teams this year, and they're gonna compete, and they're gonna be one of the better teams in the AFC. I think they're gonna actually come out of that division as the winner of that division. In a division full of teams that are just gonna kick the crap out of each other, I think the Raiders are gonna rise to the top of that division, and they're gonna be a surprising team. I think that defense is good enough. I think with Devontae Adams, they add more on that offense. I mean, Derek Carr threw for 4,800 yards last year without Devontae Adams. What the fuck's he going to do with him? You know what I mean? Like,
Did you happen to read the ESPN article released today about Devontae?
No.
How they almost died. Like
yeah, Devontae goes into detail about why him and Derek are as close as they are. They literally almost died together. They were whitewater rafting. The two of them had to swim back to shore because they fell out of the boat. Yeah. So, like, when you've got a bond like that, that goes far beyond the football field. So
I mean, if you're Derek Carr and you've got an injured Darren Waller, and your number one receiver is Hunter Renfrow, and you throw for 4,800 yards, and then the next year you get Devontae Adams, sky's the limit, man.
That's not bad.
no, my only knock on Carr is the fact that he can't win. Like, it's not a talent knock.
Well, and let's see. Some of that's been decision making, but
Right.
let's see if some of that was also coaching. slash talent.
Right.
You know what I mean?
And it's just been that way for what, the 12 years he's been in the league. That's why I have that attitude at this point. Because same with the Lions. Why do you not have faith in them? Because they've never done anything to give you faith. Derek Carr's never given me faith in anything.
And I was debating between another sleeper team in Minnesota. For some reason, I don't know, because Justin Jefferson, I think, like we talked about, their offense is going to be, I think, significantly better this year.
It's going to be a lot better.
Yeah. So
by
I think,
all accounts.
And granted, yeah, Kirk Cousins is still your quarterback. I mean, as much as we love to bag on Kirk Cousins, he basically is Matt Stafford. That's what he is.
I mean, he is.
That's basically what he is.
People like to dog on him, but when you look at
I dog him because I don't fucking like him.
No, I know. But when you look at his overall body of work,
he's Matt Stafford.
He's borderline Matt Stafford. You're right, and he's a damn good quarterback. I mean, you look at what he had last year. He only had 7 interceptions to what 33 touchdowns last year. That's a damn good touchdown to interception ratio. And yet people still dog him like he's fucking Joey Harrington. You know what I mean? Like, it's like, all right, come on, let's.
But he's like that guy like we talked about Carson Wentz. Though he makes that mistake.
He makes that one big mistake that goes viral, and then you look at it and you go, oh, all right, well he sucks. Well, if you look at the full body of work, he's a lot better than people give him credit for.
Right. So that's
as
why
is Derek Carr.
Right. So that's why I was kind of debating between them and the Raiders, but I'm definitely going to take the Raiders specifically because of Devontae Adams.
Yep.
Because I think it's just going to add to that offense, and plus it's going to be a better without John Gruden. They're actually going to be able to do stuff, which is good.
All I'm going to say to the two of you on that is I hope you're both right.
Obviously,
I'm not picking them. I would love to sit here and tell you I got a lot more faith in them than I do, but it's a prove it year. I'm hoping everything you guys are saying is going to be the case. I just have to see it start to happen.
Right.
My sleeper team, especially if you know my opinion on things, you are going to be surprised. I'm going with the Saints.
The Aints.
I like that one. I do like that one.
And I fucking hate Jameis. But that division is possibly going to be so bad, with the exception of Tampa Bay, who I don't have. I told both of you at the draft, Tom Brady was my one guy I would not touch.
Well, we'll get to that in a little bit, but I'm going to tell you right now, I'm picking them to win that division.
You're picking the Saints?
Yep.
I look at it and go, they're going to, out of those 4 teams, they're going to be the best. I could see them competing with the rest of the division. I don't think they're going to be, World Series team, a fucking Super Bowl team, but
World Series, Super Bowl, same thing.
Yeah, Stafford plays in one, Kershaw plays in the other.
They're friends.
Yeah, they're friends. It
know
all
each
works
other.
together in a big happy circle. In a circle.
It's like a circle. It's like a circle.
This was the theme of our draft because apparently idiots were literally sitting around the table in like a circle, and they didn't realize. You know,
Oh, wait,
it was their
I'm-
turn to
I'm up
nominate.
next? Wait, I'm
And
up
like,
next?
It's like a circle. Yes, you're up fucking next.
It's
Let's go.
like a circle.
Like he said it that way for a specific reason, dummy.
It's
We
like a
said it that way for the last 15 years.
Like I'm new to this league and I fucking knew that. I'm like, all right, let's go.
It's like a circle.
But, yeah, I just see them. They're going to be the team that ends up going out of the South, I think, into the playoffs. I don't think they're going to win anything, but they're going to be the team that looks a lot better than they probably actually are.
I'm on board with that one with you, for sure. So before we move on to the rest of these, I do want to say, who do you have winning the Super Bowl? So your AFC champs are, I think we all took the Bills, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then you guys have,
I have the Eagles.
you have the Eagles. You both have the Eagles. I have the Niners.
Yeah.
And I'm going to go the Bills.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Both of you?
Yep.
Okay. All right. So we're all in
I hate
lockstep.
taking the favorite pick.
We're all in lockstep
it's-
on that one.
I think, and I'm going to say this as somebody who doesn't really have an opinion on the Bulls, or the Bills, the Bulls. I'm all
You're
over
all
the
over the
place.
board, bro.
I got basketball, I got baseball, I've got everything but football going on in my brain right now. I think the Bills are the clear-cut best team in football this year.
It's all about health.
I agree with you.
It's about health. Simple as that.
Yeah.
It is, and that can change real quick.
Right.
Unfortunately. All right. So on from sleeper team, we move on to breakout quarterback. And again, just because I'm starting it off, I'll shout out mine here. I'm going with two, and I think these two are they're on different levels of their careers.
Okay.
But I think they're gonna both have breakout years. The one guy, you can't necessarily call it a breakout because he's been kind of at a decent level, but I think he's going to have a career year. And then the other guy is going to have an actual breakout. And I'm going with one Carr, who's going to have a huge year this year.
Okay.
And the other one's going to be Marcus Mariota.
Oh, I did not see that one coming.
I think
That will come in later for me.
I think Marcus Mariota will have a
I think people are going
damn
to be
good-
very surprised. by
I
that.
think they will be, because I think he's a better quarterback than what he's been able to show.
It's all about health with that guy, though.
It is, and you know what? He's going to be able to display some running ability that he hasn't really shown in a while because he hasn't been a starter.
And look years ago when he was with, at that point with Oakland. Mm-hmm. Look at what Waller did, what Waller's career did when Mariota was in. And the only thing that Mariota really has right now is a tight end. I mean, he's got some things out there that could turn into something.
Well, you got Drake London they just drafted this
Which
year, who I'm a huge Drake
yeah.
London guy.
That's
I love that kid. I when he was drafted, I think we talked about. I like him more than any of the other wide receivers in the
drafted
draft. I think he's going to be good. You have Kyle Pitts now with Marcus Mariota.
Loves
You
his
said it.
tight
You
end.
said it with Waller. Delaney Walker had a career year under Marcus Mariota being the quarterback. So that's going to be a hell of a connection this year, and I think they're gonna be a little bit of a surprise this year, and I think he's going to show that he really is a starting quarterback in this league.
I think the difference between them and the Saints is going to end up being the defense. I
Yeah,
think the Saints' defense is not great, but they're a lot better than any other defense in that division.
Yep. All right, who do you guys got for breakout quarterback?
Frank's gonna love mine.
Oh God!
And
going
Ski,
Trevor- you're going-
Ski will love mine
you're
too.
going Trevor-
Oh, you're
Trevor
going that
Lawrence.
route.
You're going Trevor Lawrence.
Trevor Lawrence.
I like that one.
You're welcome, Ski.
Every time we take a break, I'd go outside and I'd have to listen to Ski give me shit about my opinion on fucking Trevor Lawrence.
I
love
do.
that.
I think he's without Uncle Herb down there, like just being a total fuck off. I think Trevor Lawrence finally, you're going to see the quarterback that he actually is.
Well, you're going to see them design some run
Yes.
plays for him. You're going to see them design rollouts for him. You're going to see him on the move more.
I think you're going to
than
see
you
him
did.
be a poor man's Josh Allen type quarterback.
Yeah, I
You're-
could see that.
you
Yeah.
know,
You also have the chemistry with ETN.
right.
That's gonna also help
Yes.
things along.
So
that's gonna play into it because ETN is finally back healthy.
That's my breakout QB for
I like it.
for this year.
and I just talked about it literally 2 picks ago. I'm going Jalen Hurts. I think Jalen Hurts takes that step not just to
Yep.
be a top fantasy quarterback. I think he's going to be a top quarterback in this league. Period.
I agree with you. I think he was for me. I didn't put him up there because he was so good last year that it was almost like Carr. I almost didn't put Carr in there because he's been at a certain level,
Right.
But I felt I had to because I really feel like Carr's he's gonna explode this year.
I'm taking those guys that I have like right at the tippy top of tier 2 that might break into that top tier.
And I think we all agree that Jalen Hurts is going to take that next step this year with that offense. All right, next up is breakout running back. I have a couple that I like this year, but I'm going to go with one in particular here. And he kind of showed a glimpse of breaking out last year, but I think this year is going to be just an incredible breakout for him. You're going to see the running back he really is. And he's going to take over that backfield where they have two running backs that are basically 1A and 1A. I'm going with A.J. Dillon.
Okay.
I think A.J. Dillon will get more carries than Aaron Jones. He will get more catches than Aaron Jones. He will take over that backfield this year. That dude is, you said it earlier about somebody, A.J. Dillon's a stud. That dude is a hell of a fucking ball player. And you're going to be able to see it this year.
It's hard to disagree with that. I'm going to say, if the dude can stay fucking healthy, J.K. Dobbins.
That could be an interesting
So
one.
I have him somewhere else on my list, but that's the reason I didn't put him there. That's one of the other players I had there, though. Yep.
J.K.
So
Dobbins.
I love that pick.
I'm going with the rookie. And for those of you who know me, it's not going to be that surprising, but I'm going with Kenneth Walker IV.
No shit.
Yes.
I thought it was the third.
Is it? I thought
I think it is the
fourth.
third.
Oh, third, fourth.
Were you going with Kenneth Walker's
I'm not
kid?
picking his kid, no.
Jesus.
No. It's not like the MJ situation where I have more faith in your kid at this point.
All right, so Kenneth Walker. I'm
going to go with
a good one.
Walker 3 or
Listen,
4.
he could, getting into fantasy a little bit, he could actually save some fantasy team seasons towards the end of the year.
I don't think we're going to be looking at him at the end of the year going, this is the rookie of the year.
Yeah,
But
no.
I think once he gets healthy and starts moving, you're going to look at him and go,
He's going to take over that backfield.
2 or 3 years, this kid's going to be, maybe not a stud, but
Right.
he's going to be a damn good running back.
All right, awesome. Frank, you are jotting all these down, right?
Yeah.
Sweet. All right, breakout wide receiver. I'm going to go with somebody on your team, Chris. And this is kind of a popular breakout receiver this year.
yeah.
And it's Gabe Davis.
Yep.
I mean, the kid showed flashes in several years now. He's been basically Josh Allen's go-to TD guy in the red zone. And he's getting a chance to be the number 2 now.
If you're right about this, that just takes the Bills' offense to an entirely different level.
I'm gonna tell you right now, Gabe Davis will have 1,000 yards, and 8 to 10 touchdowns.
Dope.
Chris is like, I ain't going to fucking
No, hell yeah,
do it.
I'm down with that. Sweet.
You speak it into existence,
Again,
buddy.
man, if that does happen, again, that puts the Bills' offense on just
That offense is going to be unbelievable. Honestly, Isaiah McKenzie, if we're talking fantasy, he's not a bad receiver to pick up and stash because as the third receiver on the team, look at what Cole Beasley did as the slot third guy on that fucking roster, and look at the stats he put up. So Isaiah McKenzie is actually a better receiver than Cole Beasley.
Yes, he is.
So
I agree with that.
I mean, that offense is going to be a juggernaut, man.
That's why I think they're going to actually start utilizing the run as well because passing, that's what everybody's going to be defending.
Yeah,
But
you're not going to be able to stack the box.
But with all,
Right.
but with all those guys, how can you defend that? You've got Dawson Knox at tight end,
Right.
who is a damn good tight end. You've got you got Stephon Diggs, you got Gabe Davis, you got Isaiah McKenzie, you've got either Singletary, Moss, or the new rookie Dalvin's brother James coming out of the backfield. How the fuck do you defend that?
Like in our draft, Chris was fighting me on Dawson Knox a little bit. And I couldn't figure out why nobody else was getting involved in that. I was like, if you guys watch, like Dawson Knox was the top tight end in the league when he was healthy last year.
You know why I didn't get involved in it?
Well,
Because
there's
there's
you know
only
more than
so
the rest
many,
of us.
there's only so many footballs to go around on a team like that.
Which is true.
And at a position like tight end where you're kind of touchdown dependent, Gabe Davis is going to take some of those. Stephon Diggs is going to take some of those. Josh Allen's going to run some of those in. So
Yeah,
for
he's gonna
me,
run some.
I just look at dispersing the football out. I'm like, I love the player. I don't like him in fantasy this year
Okay.
because you can only spread the football out so far. So that was why I didn't get involved in
Okay.
it. I love the player.
Yeah.
Just don't like him in fantasy this year for
and
me.
it's a really good point. It's also why I took Ertz immediately after, just in case.
I love the Ertz pick this year. I think he's going to be good. I think that injury's not nothing. They're playing. They're playing that up a little bit.
I drafted 3 guys who were injured. They're all probably playing week 1.
Yeah. All right. So anyway, back out to breakout wide receiver for you two.
I got Devontae Smith. I think having A.J. Brown there, I think that's going to help tremendously in his progression as a top wide receiver.
Yep. I mean, basically, you got 2 number 1s there.
Yep. And I'm down with
which
that.
is awesome. And Devontae becomes number 2, which is kind of a great role for him to mature into as a second year.
I just don't
wide
think
receiver.
I don't think he's big enough to be a number 1.
No, I agree with you.
But I think that's going to help him in the long run because I think it's going to help him break out because I think they're going to roll coverage to A.J. Brown, which means Devontae Smith is going to be like open. Him and Goddard are going to be open all fucking day.
Yep.
So.
Yep.
I'm steering straight into the homer pick on this one, and not literally homer, but my favorite team. I'm going Hunter Renfrow.
Woo.
I know it's not necessarily a breakout because this man showed last year what the fuck he can do.
I almost kept him. You know that, right?
I know.
I almost did.
It's also why I didn't even pay attention. Everybody else is like 30. I'm like 40. I don't care what you're paying. I will pay $1 more than you. I just think with the way that offense is set up, like you were saying, with Waller, with Adams now, Derek Carr throwing the shit out of the ball, that red zone is going to be Renfro's to own.
Yep.
I dig it.
I like that. He's very much like Cooper Kupp when you get in that red zone. Like even if he's not open, he's open because he positions himself in a way where he can catch the football still, even if he's covered.
And if he's not, Waller will be in the corner. And
right.
If Waller's not, for some reason, Adams is open.
Yep.
And I would rather take my chances leaving Renfrow unattended.
Yep. All right. Next up, rookie sleeper. Basically, the rookie that you think is going to break out. Sleeper is kind of a fantasy term, but the rookie that you think is going to break out and be really good this year.
Yeah.
Kind of talking NFL and fantasy, and I'm going with a little bit of an obvious one here. Dameon Pierce.
Yeah.
From Houston. I mean, he basically has taken over that backfield as a rookie. They released Marlon Mack. That puts him in position to be the lead back. I know Rex Burkhead is there, but Rex Burkhead is 33 years old. He's a journeyman. He had more carries last year with 120. I think he had 124 carries last year, which was double any of the carries he's had in any other year.
And
so
it's not a knock on the guy, but Burkhead is a Bill Belichick running back.
Yeah, Burkhead is. Listen, he's a good third down back.
Yeah,
he's a good scat back. He's not a carry the ball 3 down back. Dameon Pierce is.
If he's in Bill Belichick's offense, I look at Burkhead as something much better than he actually is.
Right.
With him just on paper, no. I think you are 100% right with Dameon Pierce.
So, Chris?
I'm going to go with Isaiah Pacheco of Kansas City.
Oh, wow.
I don't know. Something just tells me Allaire's got injury issues. He's had them since he was at LSU. I think that as the season goes on, I think that's going to become his backfield, and I think he's gonna do some things this season. They kind of know. I mean, obviously he's a rookie, so you're like, okay,
right.
So yeah, that's my sleeper, I guess.
Gotcha.
Mine's not much of a secret. We've already talked about the guy, Drake London.
Yep, I like that. Listen, you got to throw the ball to somebody on that team.
Exactly.
And it can't be Kyle Pitts every down.
Pitts is going to have a backer in a corner on him, a linebacker in a corner every single down on him.
Yep.
I think Drake's just going to be open.
And I truthfully think he's the best wide receiver that came out of that draft. That's not hurt. The best wide receiver in that draft is on the Lions, but he's obviously hurt right now. So,
and he's going to be out for somewhere between 1 to 6 weeks. Nobody will actually say.
Yeah, nobody
they
knows.
They just keep saying, "Oh, he's on track to come back a lot sooner than before."
Right.
It's like, okay, is that this week? Is that next? What the fuck are we doing here?
Right. All right. Next up is rookie bust. So we went with the rookie who's going to break out. Let's go with rookie bust. I'm going to go with a guy that everyone thinks is going to break out on a team that everybody thinks is going to break out, which I am totally against that team breaking out, and I'm against this player breaking out. I just don't think it's going to happen. I don't think that Jets offense is gonna progress, and I don't think Garrett Wilson is going to do much at all. And a lot of people are all over the Garrett Wilson bandwagon. They're all over the Zach Wilson bandwagon. They're all over Breece Hall. They're all over that offense, Elijah Moore. I just don't see it happening. And if it happens, I don't see it happening for everybody. Elijah Moore, to me, is a better receiver. He's been in that offense one more year. Wilson's a rookie on a team that is, in all accounts, not very good. And I just don't see it happening for him. I think he's going to be a bust this year. Could he eventually become a good wide receiver in the NFL? Yeah, but I just don't see it happening this year.
I'm going to go with Breece Hall. I'm glad you brought him up. I think that dude's going to be an absolute bust.
He's technically not even started on the team yet. And everyone's talking about him like he's won that job. Michael Carter is the starting running back on that franchise. And Michael Carter was drafted last year by the same coaching staff that's there this year. Right. Why are they automatically going to turn over the ball to another rookie they drafted this year when Michael Carter did nothing to lose that job and they drafted him too? I'm with you there. I agree with that.
That's the Jets going Jets, man.
I'm going to the opposite side of the ball on this one. And I made mention of this right around the draft time. Kayvon Thibodeau. Ooh. I'm not sold on this guy. I never have been. There's a reason I think he fell down that list as much as he did, even though 1 to 5 isn't a big drop. When you are the projected number 1 pick, you falling out of that is a big deal. I just don't see that New York defense being good enough for him to actually produce.
Yeah. Yep. So who's the player that we're going to get into fantasy here for at least one question, or a couple here? Your must-have in fantasy this year, the player who you just think is going to be a league winner for you, who is just going to have a huge year. And for me, it was Justin Jefferson. You talked about it earlier, Chris. With that Minnesota offense now, they're going to be running that offense that they ran on the Rams, which got Cooper Kupp open so freely all the time when you knew where the ball was going, but he was so wide open all the time. Justin Jefferson himself has come out and said, now I know why Cooper Kupp was so wide open all the time. They're going to pass more. It's going to be it's not going to be the zone blocking scheme that they went with and the running attack that they went with all the time. It's going to be more of an open throwing offense mixed with a different run scheme that suits Dalvin Cook a little bit better. Alexander Madison doesn't really fit in that offense anymore. But yeah, Justin Jefferson, I see him having a huge year. I have him pegged to be wide receiver 1 at the end of the year. As long as he stays healthy, he will be the number 1 wide receiver at the end of the year. Fantasy-wise, he was my must-have when I went into drafts. I'm like, I got to get this fucking guy. And I got him in quite a few drafts. I wasn't willing to overpay for him. So in leagues where I was an earlier pick than where he kind of should have went, I didn't jump up for him, but I took him in every place I could get him.
For me, it's going. I didn't end up getting him, but I think either somebody either had him or just paid way too much for him. With Jamar Chase.
Yeah, I think somebody paid a lot.
Jamar Chase though. I think that dude's a game changer. You saw it last year. That dude's a game changer. Mm-hmm. And I think that's a dude kind of like in the same vein as Justin Jefferson. That's a dude that can carry you to a championship, 100%. Especially if you're in a PPR league or a half PPR league, whatever.
Yep.
Yeah, that's a guy you kind of want.
I have him pegged as number 2 this year. I have Kupp falling down to number 3 actually. Okay. I have him. He's going to regress a little bit. You can't score that many touchdowns again. You can't get that many yards again. He had a career year.
He did.
That's going to regress.
Yeah.
And Jamar Chase is going to get better in that offense, and Justin Jefferson is going to get better in this offense. So I have it Jefferson, Chase, Kupp. And obviously that necessarily won't be 1, 2, 3 for sure, but that's how I have them ranked.
Right.
Right.
The must-have guy for myself was also my breakout QB, Jalen Hurts. I think when it comes to fantasy, that is going to be your clear-cut number 1 quarterback.
I was mad that Dave kept him. And you know how much?
See my rankings?
You know how much he kept him for? It was like a little bit of nothing. It was ridiculous.
You want to know the worst part? And I'll just be honest with you both about this. I actually drafted him last year. I traded him to Dave.
I know. I was there. You drafted him
physically fucking sick.
You drafted him last year to keep him to keep me from getting him, and then traded him to Dave
because Dave offered me more than you did.
I didn't offer you shit because I wasn't going to. I was bound and determined not to offer you a goddamn thing for him.
And then Dave got him because I was like, "Fuck, I don't need 2 quarterbacks."
But in all honesty, I wouldn't have kept him this year anyway. I would have kept Jefferson.
I probably would have.
I kept
in
Jefferson.
Your position, yeah.
So your must avoid The player that you definitely did not fucking want on your team.
This is
by
easy.
all accounts.
This is easy for me.
For me, this one was a little tough because there was a few of them. Because
I have a couple of them, but it's
every year I have a handful of players that I'm just like, nope, not fucking doing it, not doing it. And for me this year, the number one on that list for me was Marquise Brown.
Okay.
No fucking way.
Hollywood.
No. Listen, I don't care how fast you are and how open you can get. If you can't catch the fucking football, you're not a good wide receiver.
Yes.
I do not want you on my franchise. I don't want you on my team. I don't want to be cursing at my TV every fucking week. No. No, thank you.
Mine, CC, it's Christian McCaffrey. I can't with this
The
dude
ambulance.
anymore. I can't with this dude anymore. By like week 5, he's hurt every fucking year. I'm like, no, I'm done.
So I'm going to... with that being said, I completely understand people feeling that way. He was one of the people on my I really want to get, and I've got him in a couple leagues. So he fell to me at the fifth overall pick in one league.
Yeah,
that was a 2-quarterback league.
I'm gonna jump in on you because
Yeah.
I want to say it before you say it.
Yeah.
In the event that this is what you're going to say, the way Baker uses his running backs, McCaffrey has the potential to have one of the best running back years ever.
Great.
So I look at his, and I understand the injury aspect. I completely get it. And for me, I look at it as this guy has had 2 really good years and 2 injury-filled years. But the problem with the injuries is I look at him and I go, they were kind of fluky injuries, right?
Regardless if they were fluky, though,
No, I know.
especially with running backs. You know, once the running backs start getting hurt,
there was nothing structural, though.
100% true.
Like, nothing structural, right? And I look at those injuries and I go, all right, I'm willing to take a chance on this guy because he's so fucking good.
I get it.
I completely get the injury aspect for people that didn't want to take him. And for everybody that didn't want to take him, I was the guy that was like, I'm cool with you not taking him. I will take him. I will risk it. It's a risk. It's a risk. It was a risk. I looked at it and I was like, all right, it's not like it was a structural injury in those injuries. I'll take the risk. And if I eat it, if he gets injured, it's my own undoing. The per game basis points you can get off him, I was like, it's a roll of the dice. I kind of have to take.
It just felt like they're like lingering injuries that, again, as running backs, once they start to get hurt, like those things just don't go away. You just have them. And to me, especially when you're taking him as high as you did,
right,
as high as a lot of people did, to me it wasn't worth that risk.
Since we're talking about this, I'm going to go out on a limb here.
Yeah.
And I'm going to tell you that I personally think he's going to stay healthy this year.
I hope he does.
I completely understand people thinking he's not.
I hope he runs wild against the Browns. I really do.
I think he's going to be the leading running back at the end of the year. Wow. He's going to have the most running back points at the end of the year.
So I said he could
fantasy wise.
Okay.
One of the best years we've seen a running back have in a long time if it's done correctly.
I truly believe that.
Okay.
And that's you can call me crazy, but
I will agree with both of you, though. I don't think there's a chance in hell he stays healthy.
Neither do I.
Right.
But if he does, yeah, you're 100% right.
Right.
Tom Brady, this is the year. This is the 1 year too many. That O-line's falling apart, man. That O-line has fallen apart on him. I'll be the guy to say it. This is the 1 year too many.
You're leading me into the next question.
Okay.
You got honestly?
Yep.
Yep. That's exactly what I was thinking too.
You're leading me into the next question.
Okay. Yep.
So the next question is the star player who gets injured.
Tom Brady.
And I have Tom Brady.
So literally.
Well, that makes 3 of us because the next thing I was following it up with is I don't even think he finishes out the year.
That offensive line has taken too many hits.
Yep.
Like they've lost 4 guys now.
Yep.
And you look at.
You've lost your starting and your backup centers.
I think he's going to be running for his life. I think he's going to be throwing the football too quick. And Tom Brady can't run. Tom can't run. So I again, it's one of those things where you don't hope somebody gets injured. You don't hope that any player gets injured. But if I was going to pick a star that's going to get injured, it's 45-year-old Tom Brady behind that Swiss cheese offensive line that he's going to be putting out there every week. Yeah, I don't see it happening.
I will pick a different one just to be different from the 2 of you, though. The other guy I think who's going to end up hurt, like to the point where he doesn't finish the season.
Christian McCaffrey?
All right, there's 3 of them then because he too.
I say I don't think he finishes the season because Gisele's not going to let him finish the fucking season.
That's the other thing I'm wondering. But
she's threatening divorce his
yeah.
ass?
I think that's why he left. I really think she threatened to leave his ass.
Well, I think she got pissed off because he wasn't going to be able to make the vacation.
Right.
Because he went back to football. And he was like, Coach, I kind of need to make this vacation because if not, I won't have a wife to come back to.
And if this motherfucker really did leave to go on The Masked Singer, oh, God, he deserves everything that's coming to him.
He left to go on that vacation.
But I'm going to go with Stafford.
And also get plastic surgery.
Yeah, dude, he looks really weird. Like, really weird.
I guess I didn't pay that much attention.
Oh, God.
Oh, his face was so
they
sunken
put it,
in.
Yeah, side by. Oh, yeah.
He looked like he was talking like this.
Oh, it's like his face looks like it's Botox. Like,
Yeah.
just plastic. It looks gross.
It was weird.
The guy in the Adam Sandler movie, Just Go With It, who gets the fucking Botox done.
Yeah. It was just it was weird.
But yeah,
Who's the other guy?
I'm going Stafford.
Okay.
Well,
that arm issue.
Yeah.
Yep. Next up is the deep sleeper you have for like a real deep sleeper guy that's going to break out.
I got a deep sleeper.
And I mentioned mine earlier in the breakout quarterback. I think it's going to be Marcus Mariota.
Okay.
Like if you look at him on the quarterback ranking list, he is way fucking down there. I think by the end of the year, he's going to be halfway up that list. I think he has a great year this year.
Mine. I had two. One was, and you brought him up earlier, which was Isaiah McKenzie. But the other guy is Isaiah Likely, tight end for Baltimore. That dude looked like and I know it's preseason, but that guy looked like an absolute monster.
No, he's a hell of a player, and the only reason so he was on my thought process.
This one's like deep sleeper.
Yeah,
right. That's what I'm taking him at deep sleeper.
He is. I think he's a year from breaking out because they got Mark Andrews there, but that kid is a star.
Yep.
That kid's got some talent for sure.
Yeah.
Honestly, when it comes to deep sleeper, I don't have anybody that'd be that much of a deep sleeper. But the one guy I am gonna unexpectedly pick is Jameis. I think Jameis gonna have a lot better year than he's had.
I like that.
As much as I don't want to be the person to say that, I think he's.
I know you hate him, but I agree with that. I think he's gonna have a damn good year, by Jameis Winston standards.
Right.
You know.
And which one of the Isaiahs did you go with?
Likely.
Isaiah Likely.
So comeback player, and Chris, you touched on one of them earlier, and I've got two here because I think they're both gonna have great comeback years. They both got injured last year and ruined their season. I'm going with J.K. Dobbins and Cortland Sutton.
Okay.
Dobbins is going to come back on a run-first offense, and by all accounts, he's healing miraculously. He showed flashes of being one of the better running backs in the league before he got hurt. I think on that offense that is a run-first team, he's gonna take over that backfield when he's fully healthy, and he's just gonna run all over everybody. And Cortland Sutton, I mean, this is a wide receiver that showed flashes of being a damn good receiver before, and that was with guys like Drew Lock and whoever else he had on that team. I don't even remember who else was on that team, but now he's got Russell Wilson throwing the football, and Russell Wilson throws one of the best deep balls that you've ever seen in your life. So I think he's going to have an amazing season this year. He's going to be a standout guy, and I think those two players are going to be comeback players.
Solid. Now, for me, obviously, the low-hanging fruit is Derrick Henry. It's easy to pick him.
Yeah, because he was out for half the year.
I'm not going with Derrick Henry.
I agree with you.
I'm going with, and this was tough for me. I kind of had him 1 and 1A, but famous Jameis. I could see that.
Yep.
And honestly, your fucking boy, Baker. I could see him having a fucking monster year this
year.
Yeah,
I didn't want
because I think he's got that chip on his shoulder.
I didn't want to go with that because I didn't want to be called the homer.
No, but I get why you did.
Yeah.
But
for me to say it, far worse.
Yeah.
For me to say it, I think that says something. Because I think he got humbled by this. I do. At least I hope he did. If he didn't, then that's just who he is.
Yeah.
And that's a shame because you could be so much better than you are.
Right.
So I'm by saying this that I think he will be the comeback player of the year. That in turn means that he kind of matured and kind of grew up a little bit
and progressed. Yeah,
and progressed. So I will see, but
I like that. I hope you're right.
This is the year I think we finally get rid of the stupid mistakes by Carson Wentz.
Wow.
Oh.
That's why I said, don't worry about it, man. I'm getting called far worse.
Wow.
Hey, as long as he throws it to Terry McLaurin,
I
I'm
just
good.
look at the way Washington's set up and what quarterbacks have done in the past there and what talent Wentz actually does have. And I look at the situation and say he could potentially become a lot better than he has been in past years.
Gotcha. Before we move on to the last, I think we have 5 questions left. I want to give a shout out to Steve Waddell from Baldman Entertainment and from Time Out with Steven Scott. It is his birthday today.
Happy birthday, Steve.
I want to say happy birthday to him.
Happy birthday, man.
Happy birthday, buddy. And that brings me to this. Whether you're having drinks with friends or just want something fun and different to listen to, take a Time Out with Steven Scott, presented by Baldman Entertainment. Time Out with Steven Scott is drinking, jokes, wrestling, movies, memories, and so much more. Every show, they taste and sample different drinks and foods, like when they play the jelly bean roulette, and sometimes that goes very bad, which is great for all of us if we're listening and watching. That's Time Out with Steven Scott, presented by Baldman Entertainment. Look them up on YouTube or at timeoutpodcastwss.com, and be sure to follow them on TikTok, Instagram, and Facebook. I also want to give a shout out to Steve. He will be DJing. Baldman Entertainment will be DJing the St. Hubert's Festival in Harrison Township on 9/10 on the 10th from 12 to 4. So on the 10th from 12 to 4, he's at St. Hubert's Festival in Harrison Township, and that's Baldman Entertainment. Steve, happy birthday, brother.
Happy birthday.
Might have to pop over there. Harrison Township, right across the street from me.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, might have to.
All right, now let's get into the last few questions here. We have first quarterback benched for the season.
I don't know mine.
I'm going to go with Mitch Trubisky.
Yeah, I can see that.
I think that team will lose a little bit here, and I actually think Mitch is a better quarterback than he gets credit for.
Dude, I'm sorry. Like we've talked about numerous times, if you took the Bears to the playoffs with Adam Nagy as your fucking head coach, then you've done. You honestly, you should be put in the Hall of Fame for that.
I love the fact that you call him Adam
And
Nagy.
speaking of Hall of Fame, I have something a little bit later for you guys that I caused a huge Twitter beef about this.
Oh,
It was
all right. I'm looking forward to that.
Yeah.
I think Kenny Pickett will end up getting the starting nod there.
You didn't draft the guy in the first round for him to sit on the fucking bench, though.
I'd say about 5 games in, he's going to end up getting that starting
I agree
nod.
wholeheartedly. Mitch was my pick.
Even though Mitch did get picked
He looked very good.
Well, and he's not a bad quarterback.
No, he's not.
He gets a bad rep, and he did get. Isn't he a captain?
Mm-hmm.
So, I'm still going to roll with it, even though he got voted. He got voted captain after I made this pick, but I still think he's going to be the first one benched.
I think he will be.
For me, it's Trey Lance.
Oh wow!
Wow.
Like
I had already penciled in Carson Wentz for
like
him.
because fair. But I mean, you have him. You have the 49ers making a run this year,
Yeah.
and that in turn means Trey Lance or Jimmy Garoppolo has to play well.
Yep.
I think it's going to come to a point. We both like Trey Lance. We do.
Yeah.
I just don't think he's ready. I don't. So I think he's going to end up getting benched.
I can't disagree with you because he hasn't shown that he is ready.
Exactly.
So I'm banking on the fact he's gonna show it. But if he doesn't, they got Jimmy G there. They can put it
exactly. And Kyle Shanahan is not going to let an opportunity to potentially get to the Super Bowl again.
In the NFL, you only have so many years of a run in you before you have to rebuild.
Yeah, and you can't just be like, well, I mean, we got this. We have to play him. No, you don't.
You can't waste a year of your run.
So yeah, to me, it's Trey Lance.
And like I said, I agree with you, Joe. I'm going Mitch.
Gotcha. All right, we're going to go with TD Vulture. So the running back that's going to vulture TDs from maybe the starter or from the team and just be the
no idea.
just be the goal line back or the guy that steals a bunch of TDs. And I'm going to go with A.J. Dillon because, again,
I go with that guy too.
I have him taking over that role anyway.
That's fair.
Over Aaron Jones.
I'm going to pick the same guy who was the TD Vulture last year. Give me Connor. James Conner.
Oh, there you go.
Nice.
I like that pick.
Oh, Jesus.
I almost went with your boy Josh Allen.
Nice.
Because
he could be.
Because he vultures so many TDs from the running backs when they're down there in the red zone that it's ridiculous.
Because they can't run the fucking ball.
But with the way that those receivers. Yeah. No, that really, I didn't think about that. That really could be a situation.
Yeah, he vultures them away for sure.
You guys both said Dillon, right?
Yeah, Chris just kind of agreed with me.
I did.
All right, so the running back that is going to be like PPR gold, the running back that's going to be the best receiving out of the backfield this year. And I didn't go with the obvious one. The obvious one probably be CMC.
Mm-hmm.
I went away from the obvious one to maybe a semi-obvious one, but people are kind of down on him this year, and I think he's going to have a great year. Alvin Kamara.
I like that.
I think he's
Yeah, I
going
think it's a
to
good one.
have. I think he's going to have a great year this year. Chris has hit the point of the
For
show
you
where
too? No. I actually, I do. I think it's a good. That's when I was actually looking.
I thought you
at.
just hit the point of the show where you're like,
No.
Yep, me too.
No,
that sounds great.
That's when I was actually looking at. My guy was actually Joe Mixon,
Okay.
who I was going to go with.
I like that one too.
I mean, I hope you're right. I do have him in fantasy, so.
Then I hope I'm incredibly fucking wrong.
Well, there you go then.
There's a reason I kept the guy, DeAndre Swift. I think the way Jared Goff's going to use this guy, when it comes down to PPR, he is going to be one of the more valuable wide receivers out there.
Gotcha. I like that. I do like that pick. I mean, I think Chris and I have both backed Swift. If he can stay healthy.
Right.
And
he's
if
gonna
that,
have a hell of a year.
line can actually stay,
I think that's the bigger challenge than Swift staying healthy is the line staying healthy.
Yep.
Yeah. Yep. All right. Next up, this one is phrased as best running back handcuff. Basically, the best running back that is not the starter right now that you think is the best guy to carry on your squad, fantasy-wise or in NFL-wise, that can be a starter or will eventually be a starter and take over that starting role. I'm not choosing A.J. Dillon this one.
I was going to say I've just penciled in A.J.
No.
Dillon for everybody at this point.
So A.J. Dillon, I consider it because even the coach came out and said it's 1A and 1A for them too. So I'm not considering that one myself. You guys can. I don't. It's up to you. I'm going to go with Ramondre Stevenson from New England. I think he takes over that starting role at some point this year. I think he's got more explosiveness than Harris. I just think that he's the better running back, and he will eventually show it. And he's gonna take over that role.
Tony Pollard.
I like that one too.
I think he's absolutely. Zeke to me is washed. The dude's done. I think it's going to be. You're going to get Zeke as like that. I think he's going to become like that third down guy.
I honestly think Zeke's going to be the one you should take as the handcuff. Pollard's going to be your starter.
Fair. Well,
Like,
I mean, but they're going to start Zeke because they're paying him too much fucking money not to.
I was gonna say
Just based on the way they used him last year, though,
not
Pollard's
like
the guy they want in there.
not like this is not like this doesn't happen, but I'm actually gonna disagree with you both on that one.
Okay.
I think Zeke will have a hell of a year. That offensive line is not good, and that's going to hinder everybody on that team. They've had some injuries, but I think Zeke actually has a damn good year, and you know why? Because they're going to run the fucking tires off of him. They're not going to give a shit. They're paying him money. They're going to run the shit out of him. And he did have that knee injury last year. I feel he's going to have a damn good year this year. I could be wrong. Just my feeling.
I think Pollard's going to be your one before the end of the year there, and Zeke will be his handcuff that you would take.
So you went with Pollard. Mm-hmm. You.
As far as handcuff goes, I'm going with the one you guys have both said numerous times, A.J. Dillon.
Yeah.
If Jones is A or 1A and then Dillon's 1A, you can't feel safe having just one of them. It's going to be split time in that offense. Now, I do think for those of you who drafted Jones, you're going to be a lot happier because I think he will see reps in the slot.
Right.
I don't see Dillon being flexed out as much, but I still see the situation where Dillon's going to be the most valuable number 2 running back out there.
Gotcha. I like that. Wide receiver bust. What wide receiver do you think is just going to be a fucking bust this year?
Tyreek Hill.
I love
No,
that.
Listen, there's a lot of people that would say that. I'm going to go with the guy that I had earlier, which was my must avoid, and I'm going to go with Marquise Brown.
Okay.
I think he's just going to be a fucking total bust this year. Complete bust. Everyone's thinking he's gonna do good on this team with he's gonna do well on this team with Kyler Murray and I think Kyler's gonna have a good year. Don't get me wrong. I like Kyler this year, but Marquise Brown, the guy can't catch.
Call of Duty comes out in November. Factual statement that Kyler's stats go down after that comes out. Kyler's not having a good year.
Well, he might have a good half year. Frank?
As far as wide receiver busts go, I mean, it's not fair for me to call the guy a bust because he was such a bust last year, but I still think Kenny Galladay is going to be the biggest disappointment when it comes to wide receiver.
I was going to say, he's already busted.
That's why I was like, it's not fair to call him a bust because he's already a bust.
Well,
but I still think we're going to look at Kenny Galladay at the end of the year and go, how the fuck was this guy so high on himself at one point?
So I sat on the show and talked about how when the Lions were everybody that was a Lions fan wanted the Lions to keep him and sign him.
He was overrated as shit. I even told you that.
He had one of the worst separation numbers for a wide receiver that I had ever seen. And I tried to tell people that. And guess what? What's happening in New York? He can't get separation.
His separation number has gone down.
If you're a wide receiver and you can't get separation,
right.
you're not. His stats came from jump ball touchdowns in the end zone most of the time. He was able to maneuver himself to get contested catches, and you can't keep relying on that as a receiver in the NFL.
Right.
If you can't get separation, you're not always going to be able to make that 50-50 catch.
So, yeah, it does feel like kind of a cop-out, but when it comes down to it, I don't think any of these receivers that could potentially bust this year will end up any worse than him.
I like it. He's definitely a bust. So second to last here, we have what's your favorite NFL future bet? And mine is I'm putting a significant amount of money on this. The Colts over 9.5 wins. I love that bet this year. I am all over that one this year.
Okay.
I think that team is going to be much improved with Matt Ryan back there. And Matt Ryan's not old Matt Ryan. He's old Matt Ryan.
Yes.
Yeah, and yet he's still going to be able to sling the ball better there. They have Michael Pittman Jr. They have a rookie Alex Pierce. They still have Paris Campbell.
Maybe not quite at that level, but are you talking like Peyton and Denver type of shit?
Not quite that level, but yes.
Okay.
He can command an offense, and he can still make the throws.
Trust me, I'm not going to compare somebody to Peyton Manning without knowing that they're capable of at least doing something close.
I mean, he's capable of running that offense better than the guy that was there last year. And the team didn't back the guy last year, so the team backs this guy. So if the team backs this guy, they're also going to play a little better for him and put a little more effort into things, which is just a natural thing. And I think the Colts over 9.5 wins is a lock in my book.
And in all honesty, just as a bonus pick for a question earlier, if that's the case, T.Y. Hilton could be a real good deep sleeper this year because he was not shit last year.
He won't be shit this year either.
You don't think so?
Nope.
You think he's done? I was going to say, if Ryan's throwing the ball like crazy, I could see him do it.
I don't even think he's on the team anymore.
T.Y.'s not on the team anymore?
I don't think so.
For me, it's the Tennessee Titans don't make the playoffs.
Oh, okay. All right. So you think who's the rookie they got? Who'd they draft?
Well, didn't trade?
Didn't they draft Malik Willis?
I don't know.
They drafted Willis, didn't they?
No shit. He still is a free agent.
Oh,
Yeah.
the quarterback?
Yeah.
No, I think Carolina did, didn't they?
No.
No.
It was Tennessee.
Was it Tennessee?
Tennessee drafted Malik Willis.
Oh.
Yeah,
because
'cause-
Ritter's on Atlanta. Malik Willis. So you think Tannehill's going to get benched?
I don't even think Tannehill's going to get benched. I just
Yeah.
don't think they're good enough to make the playoffs.
Gotcha.
Tannehill's getting benched.
But Tannehill will probably get benched, yes.
I was going to say, if you don't want to commit to it, that's fine. I will tell you straight
Fair
up.
enough.
I think Willis starts before the end of this year.
Right.
I think just the way he looked in preseason alone defended
He
him
did look
starting at
He
some
did look
point.
pretty good.
And no offense to Ryan Tannehill, we've talked for years about him being both of our boys, but it comes down to it. And the kid's just looking better, and your future's looking up with him.
Listen, when you draft a quarterback like that and he shows that he's that good, sometimes you have to move on. So last up is did you say who you?
No, I really, as
sorry.
far as it goes with the futures, I don't know much about that stuff, so we're going to just leave that one to you guys.
Okay. Funny team name for fantasy football team.
I know who this is.
just a funny team name that for a fantasy football team name, and I'm gonna go with Mother Tucker Jones.
That's solid. I like that.
Yeah, that one always strikes me as funny. I like that one. Although my team name this year
the one you got this year is dope.
So I will say my team name for a lot of my teams this year is the Watson Cosby Massage Parlor.
That's solid.
That's another favorite on my list. Or Watson Cosby Date Night.
Oh Jesus, that's even better. I like that. That's funny.
So go ahead.
That's yeah. I dig that. I don't know. There's so many out there.
There is.
There's so many.
I figured you'd go with Sundays because I heard you popping about one on Sunday pretty much. The Hanging with Hernandez. I thought.
That one is funny. I dig that.
I was gonna say a couple times I heard you say hanging with Hernandez. It's funny.
It is funny.
That's when I know you think something funny and you don't laugh.
His name turned in. His name went from Hanging with Hernandez to Hanging with Two Girls in One Cup to
it changed every round.
Hanging with Hernandez and Two Girls in One Cup. Hanging with One Cup.
Something about the circle.
It's like a circle.
It's like a circle.
Frank.
Honestly, I found one last night, and I feel stupid saying my own team name, but I found it last night, and it was just too funny. The fantasy football team.
I mean, yeah.
As a knockoff of the Washington football team, the fantasy football team.
I like that.
So in my other league, my team is actually the fantasy football team.
The fantasy football team.
I like that. I got a Fresh Prince of Bel-Air.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I think it's solid.
Clyde Edwards-Helaire. Yeah, the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air.
I dig that.
Yep.
Or Olave Garden. It's pretty good.
When you're there, your family.
Right, exactly. I think it's pretty solid.
When you're there, your family.
I think that's pretty good.
Olave Garden.
I dig that.
That's awesome.
Bottle of Jameson.
Bottle of Jameson.
Wheeling and Teeling. Dude.
Chris, what was your future pick again?
I got a Thielen.
Huh?
Your future pick.
Oh, that the Titans wouldn't make the playoffs. How I Metcalf Your Mother. That's good.
That is a good one.
I like that.
And I will say for this year, if you made a Zach Wilson Bangs Hot Moms one, I don't care what it is, it's still funny.
Zach Wilson, more moms.
Yeah.
He's not a Mormon. He's more moms.
I don't care what the joke is. Those are obviously your winner this year just because that situation's so fucked up.
I dig that. That's solid.
And he's coming to Detroit at some point, so Aiden Hutchinson has to watch out.
Yeah. Well, all right, and we're done. That's all the questions we had.
Yeah, that was actually
leading into the football season.
It was solid. Yeah.
All right.
We got our Super Bowl picks, I guess, out of the way already. So
yeah, we got them in there, and got our conference picks, and
I'm gonna do a little read here.
I think you should.
Oh, are you now?
Yeah.
I think you should.
I was trying to find a hole to jump in.
I was trying to find a way to lead into it, and I just couldn't find anything.
Chris texted me like 10 minutes ago. He's like, you got to do that. I was like, no, I know. It's been sitting here the whole time. Whether you're buying or selling your home, now's the time to take advantage of having the expertise of 4 real estate agents for the price of 1 on your side. Make the right move with the right group, the Joe Wright Group. Give Craig Joe Wright, Mike Bush, Shane Wilson, and Alex DeRocher a call today at 248-535-4750 to fulfill all of your real estate needs.
Nicely done, Frank. Nicely done.
I don't even get it. There you go.
There you go.
There we go.
There it is. I like that.
I was going to say, I didn't even fuck it up this week, and I don't even get a pat on the back for it.
All right, so keeping with this, who's your MVP this year?
Jalen Hurts
is your MVP.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
I'm going out of the box. It's easy to take Josh Allen.
I was going to take Josh Allen.
No, I know, but if I was going to go easy, I would, because who do I think is really going to win it? I think Josh Allen's probably going to win it.
I'm with you.
So there's 2 dark horses in this. Josh Allen's the front runner, and then there's Justin Herbert.
You son of a bitch! That's who I was going to take.
And Jalen Hurts.
I was
going to take Justin Herbert.
A possibility.
Yes.
I think it's going to be between those 3 guys, and I think Hurts is probably a distant third in there, but I just want to jump on that wagon.
I think if indeed Philly does become the NFC winner,
yeah,
I don't see
Yeah,
another option.
If you two are right, I think it's because he carried them there, and
Yeah.
he very well could win the MVP.
Even if the Bills go on to be the other team, I still think they will look at Hurts and be like, you know what, this kid did a lot more with a lot less than Josh Allen did.
And I would agree with you if that happens. That's kind of what.
And
So you're going with Herbert, Chris?
Yes.
Yeah.
And it's no disrespect to Josh because I think Josh is going
No,
to win plenty of them going forward.
We all know I have a man crush on Josh, so I have since he was drafted, and I thought the Browns should have drafted him even over my boy Baker. But
Yeah, you can get it done.
what do I know?
Well, I mean, look at what your organization has done.
Yeah,
I mean,
starting Jacoby Brissett.
Oh, that's gonna be amazing.
Because
You got your Brissett jersey on order?
Fuck no.
I was going to say Ray's jersey probably doesn't fit her anymore. We got to get her a Brissett one now.
Fuck no. that Nick Chubb.
We're not getting her the other one.
That Nick Chubb jersey fits her just fine.
Oh, she got Nick Chubb.
Chris got it for her birthday. That fits just fine. She gonna wear that shit this year nonstop.
Okay.
What's your bold prediction for the upcoming season?
Niners go to the Super Bowl.
Nice. I like it.
It's. I think that NFC is wide open, and I think it's wide open for a few teams that could eventually, take over and really grab a hold of the NFC. It's the Eagles, like you guys talked about. It's the Niners, who if Trey Lance can be that guy, and if not, even if they go back to Garoppolo, they still can be that team. They have a team there. I think New Orleans is a surprise. I think they're going to win that division. I like them to be a surprise team this year. The NFC is wide open, and there's a few teams that could take it.
I don't disagree with you. But that's what I like about it. There's not like the AFC is flat out loaded.
It's loaded with teams that, and that's the other thing is the AFC is loaded with teams you could pick, but I think the clear front runner is the Bills.
They're going to kill each other before any of them make it out of there.
Yeah, I mean it's loaded with talent. It's loaded with teams that are built to make it to the Super Bowl.
Like, I can't wait for their playoffs. I don't even know who's going to be in it, but I'm stoked because
Right?
that AFC is going to be loaded.
Yep. Chris, what's your bold prediction?
My bold prediction: the Chicago Bears will go winless.
Wow, I don't see that happening at all.
But that's why it's bold.
Right.
That's why it's
very
bold.
I hope.
That's why I love bold predictions, because you can go like so far outside of the fucking box, it doesn't matter. So yeah, that's
I like
fine.
it.
Yeah,
I like it.
Bears 0-17.
Frank?
I mean, I it's a cop out, but again, Jameis as the comeback player of the year for me. Like,
Yeah.
that's a pretty bold pick as it is. So I'm not going any more bolder than that.
Frank's gonna wuss out. That's all right. We're good. We're good.
No, but seriously, like, my dislike of this
No,
guy.
I know.
For me to even admit that he's going to be the playoff representative out of his division, much less anything more than just barely above Justin Fields.
No, I get it. I totally get it.
nice.
Huh? Any other ones?
No, I figured we'd get a couple of those ones out of the way.
Okay.
Just kind of your, I guess, run of the mill, type questions before the season starts.
Yeah, I like it.
Before we get into the picks.
Before we get into the picks.
Now, before we get into the picks,
Before we get into the picks,
I should probably do this read, right?
you probably should. Yeah.
Probably should.
Probably should.
Are you looking to brighten up your home or commercial building? Give At Your Service by Pat a call today at 248-794-0008 for your free estimate. At Your Service by Pat specializes in home and commercial building cleaning. Services include roof and house cleaning featuring soft wash, which is a longer-lasting alternative to pressure washing, window cleaning, concrete cleaning, deck and fence restoration, gutter services, and more. So once again, call At Your Service by Pat for your free estimate today at 248-794-0008. Hey, man, they can't all be winners.
No, I sound drunk.
Yeah, right. I do. I haven't had anything to drink today. I think,
I just had to make sure I laughed into the microphone the entire time because that's what he does to me. So I'm sitting there trying to read, and I'm like, he won't stop laughing in my ear.
Hey, they can't all be winners, man.
Nah, you did fine.
That happens.
It is what it is. All right.
This segment is brought to you by the Joe Wright Group.
It's time!
All right, so our first, I guess, official pick segment of the year is back. We did some picks last week, but that was just kind of more to like fill some airtime.
Yeah,
whatever,
we had some fun.
But now this is the official picks that Frank is actually keeping track of.
Yes, I kept track of the other ones too. I just honestly don't know who anybody picked because it's fucking gibberish.
So you didn't keep track of
No, I did. I did. I just put no spaces in between. Like I'm going to show you what I meant. That is how I kept track of it.
The fuck is that?
Exactly. I kept track of it and then looked at it and went, "What the fuck is that?"
This looks like Raylan typed it. What the fuck?
So I was like, "It doesn't make sense." I did keep track of it, but I don't know what the fuck I was on.
All right.
Were you high?
Seriously, bro?
No, like that's the worst part.
Man.
Oh God. So you didn't keep track. No, I did keep track of it. I
No,
just
I
can't make
did.
sense of it.
No, you didn't.
So you didn't keep track.
I did my job. It just wasn't good enough for me.
All right then.
Come on, the truth is funnier
All right.
sometimes.
Yeah, that's great.
All right, so we're going to start off
right.
with Alabama traveling to Austin to take on the Texas Longhorns. I believe this game is at Texas. I'm not sure. Can somebody check if it's a neutral site game? I'm not sure. I don't think it is, but it doesn't matter.
I'm gonna look into this. Hold on.
Okay.
Give me a second.
I mean, I was gonna be a dick and look at Chris and be like, "Aren't you the one who's supposed to tell us that initially?"
Yeah, I probably should have looked that up before I brought the game up. But
You know what? It doesn't say.
All right, what do we got here?
I feel like-
DKR Texas Memorial
yeah,
Stadium.
that's at Texas. Okay.
Okay.
So Alabama is going into Texas, and they're laying 20. Boys, who you got?
20 points is tough, especially this early in the year. It's an early game. Give me Texas getting 20.
Okay.
If this was later in the year, I might take Bama minus the 20, but it's early.
If the most wrong thing I do is take Bama by 20 points, then fine.
Yeah.
I'm taking Bama until I have a reason not to take them.
I am also taking Bama. I think you're going to get a pissed off Nick Saban this year, and not to mention Texas will never be back. Texas is done.
Ooh, I don't know, man. I was really liking the way Archie's looking.
Are you kidding me?
Have you watched the high school fucking highlights of
You
him?
realize his stars have gone down, right? Since he committed to Texas.
Really?
Oh
That's
yeah,
fine.
it's because of his name. That's it.
I'm watching
not
the
very
kid
good.
play, going, okay,
He's not
Yeah.
very good.
I was impressed.
Like then the quarterback, the starter they have now, he's got a stupid looking mullet. Give me Alabama minus the 20 all day.
I'm taking the mullet.
And I will say, obviously, Archie does nothing for them this year. But going
Yeah.
in the future, I do have some
Fair.
some
Okay.
upside to them. But yeah, Bama's going to walk them.
Next up, Tennessee laying 6.5, taking on Pitt.
Give me Pitt.
I'm not sure what to think about Tennessee this year. I know they got a lot of hype in the offseason, especially with the transfers and all that shit. And honestly, I think Pat Narduzzi is kind of a crybaby because he bitched about the bowl game last year against Michigan State. He's like, "Oh yeah, we didn't have so and so." Blah blah blah. This and the other thing. Give me Tennessee laying a 6.5.
Okay. I know nothing about either one, so give me Tennessee.
All right. Okay. Next up, Baylor taking on BYU, which is the game is in Utah. BYU is laying 3.5.
BYU laying 3.5.
Yes.
BYU ranked at 25.
Yep.
Baylor ranked at 10. That's a tough one for me. Give me Baylor.
Okay. I'm going to take BYU laying the 3.5 at home. Whenever you got to travel to Utah playing that altitude, that's tough. It's tough to win in a game
That's
like
a
that.
really good point.
And I'm not sure if that game's at night or not.
Yeah, 10:15 p.m.
And that game's at night. Yeah,
Yep.
1,000% give me BYU.
Yep, it's at 10:15. I'll be watching that game.
Yep, as will I.
It's one of the late ones I'll watch.
Chris, congratulations. You changed my mind. I'm siding with you, BYU.
Nice.
I thought Baylor was the better team, but given everything going into it, yeah, I'm not going to say it's too much for them to overcome, but along with points and everything, yeah.
Yep. Next up, we got Hawaii coming to Ann Arbor to take on Michigan.
Give me Hawaii.
Michigan is laying 51.
Give me Hawaii.
I will take Hawaii as well. I think it's a lot of fucking. I don't
So
care
it's
who it is.
I don't give a shit who
That's
it is.
a lot of points, man.
51 fucking points.
Yep.
Against the Michigan team that doesn't run anybody out of a fucking stadium. Nope. Give me the 51.
Yeah, I'd love to sit here and be like, I got faith Michigan will win by 52 points, but no, fuck it. Give me Hawaii.
Yep.
I'm with you, boys.
Sorry, I didn't let you finish that. There was
no, I'm with you.
I'm
100%.
taking fucking
I
Hawaii.
will jump in. I did get Andrew's picks right after we did them.
Okay.
He is actually riding with the Wolverines on that one.
Okay.
Oh.
Good for you, man.
All right.
Next up, we got Akron coming to East Lansing to take on Michigan State. Michigan State is laying 34.5. Give me Akron.
Yeah, I'm with you. Give me Akron.
It's unanimous.
Andrew, what say you?
Akron.
Nice.
All right.
And now we move on to the NFL picks.
NFL.
Yes.
The nipple.
We're going to start off with the Tampa Bay Bucks laying 2.5, taking on the Dallas Cowboys.
Defense is going to win this game.
Give me the Cowboys. Ride, Cowboys, ride.
As much as I hate to do it, give me the Cowboys.
Yep.
I got no reason to pick Brady, like I said. I just think this is the year. Everybody asks, when is he going to be 1 year too long? This is the 1 year too long.
This is the year.
I think.
People have been saying that for 5 years now.
I know.
Yeah,
but I do think
now
there's
his
some-
fans are saying it.
This is something. You just kind of saw it. It was just like a really weird offseason.
Yep.
And I think you're starting to see it's like, all right, dude, we're done.
I
I think we're done
This
here.
is
Listen,
literally a farewell tour. That's
think so.
all this
Yeah.
is.
when him and I are calling it,
Yeah.
you know, that's the point in time
And you
where you
guys
gotta
are
look
the
at
biggest
it.
Brady slapdicks ever.
I will own that title.
He's the GOAT, man. I can't.
Right.
I won't necessarily say
He's
I'm a
your goat, he
slapdick,
ain't my
but
goat.
He's the GOAT. All right.
Next up, we got the Denver Broncos laying 6.5, traveling to Seattle to take on the Sea Chickens.
Give me the Broncos. Ride, Broncos, ride.
I'd bet the house on the Broncos laying 6.5.
I would absolutely bet the house on
Ride
the Broncos minus the 6.5. Ride, Broncos, ride.
Uncle Russ coming back home.
Yep.
On top of the fact that
Guess what? They didn't let Russ cook in Seattle.
They gonna let him
They're
cook?
going to let him ride
Oh, yeah.
in Denver.
I know what you said about Chicago, but I genuinely feel Seattle could be 0-17 at the end of this year with how bad their quarterback situation is.
Not according to
and
Pete Carroll.
How much of nothing they actually have.
Fair enough.
I'm with you.
That's one of the reasons I picked DK, though. He's going to get all those garbage time stats. It's going to be fucking beautiful.
Somebody's got to give him the ball.
Somebody will get him the ball.
I don't know about
All they
that.
do is play zone. It's going to be great.
right.
Next up, we got Joe's Cleveland Browns traveling to Carolina to take on the Panthers in the Baker Bowl. Carolina's laying 2.
Give me the Carolina Panthers and Baker Mayfield
Joe, I'm gonna
revenge game.
I'm going to take you up on that one. I'm also taking Carolina.
I believe his words were, I'm not going to say it, but you can interpret it from what I'm looking at you like. And that was, I'm going to fuck them up.
Dig it.
Give
I
me
dig it.
Carolina.
Carolina. Next up, and I can't believe this game is a pick'em.
I fucking can't either.
It's a toss-up, baby.
The Philadelphia Eagles are traveling to Ford Field to take on the Fighting Leos. And the game literally is a pick'em.
This is fucking stupid. Give me Philly all day, every day. I will put the fucking house on it. Give me Philly.
Well, as much as you guys, as highly as you guys have been talking about Jalen Hurts in this past roughly 2-hour show, I have to take Philly now, and I picked Philly to win the division, the NFC East. Give me Philly.
I'd love to buy into this hype and all this shit going
Do it.
on around
Do it.
here right
Do
now.
it.
You know he wants to.
Do it.
I picked them to go to the fucking Super Bowl. How am I going to pick the Lions to beat them in week 1?
Because
Quebec, go ahead.
Give me the Eagles.
nice.
Give me the Eagles to put me in the hat for the first time this year.
All right. And our final game of the evening, we have the NFL kickoff game. My Buffalo Bills, laying 2.5, travel to Los Angeles to take on the defending Super Bowl champion Los Angeles Rams. These games are tough in any sport. When a team is raising a banner, Stanley Cup, NBA championship, not NBA World Championship. It's an NBA championship or not NFL World Champion. No, you're Super Bowl champions. That's what you won. You didn't win a World Championship. But I digress. Sorry. I think the Bills travel to LA, and I think they make a statement early. And I think they house the Rams.
No, I'm taking the Bills in this game.
Yep.
They're only giving up 2.5. I think they win this game by probably by a touchdown. So give me the Bills.
I agree. It's going to be a closer one. I do think the Rams are going to be able to hold in there as long as Stafford is healthy. So this first game shouldn't be much of an issue. But at the end of the day, the Bills, like I said, they're going to be the team.
Okay. And those are our picks.
And those are the picks. I love it. This was a long show, boys. We knew it was going to be.
Yes.
It is 8:47 right now.
Just so we're on the same page,
Yep.
too, every single NFL question we are all unanimous on.
Wait, what?
We all picked the same shit for the NFL picks.
Oh, did we really?
Yes.
Really?
Like, rarely ever happens.
Me and Andrew,
See,
all the exact same.
See, I'll be honest with you. When you guys pick, I don't necessarily pay attention to it thoroughly. So I didn't even realize we picked the same
I was
thing.
just picking. I was just like, I like this.
Wow.
That's what
We
I'm
got the
going with.
Cowboys across the board, Denver across the board, the Eagles across the board, Carolina
Nice.
across the board, and the Bills across the board.
Unanimous.
All right, I dig it.
Love it.
Nice.
All right. Anything else, boys? Been a long show.
I
It has
think
been
that's
a
it.
show.
Tune in on Sunday at 10:30 a.m.
I'll get to what I was going to
for the game day
say
show.
earlier on the show.
Yeah.
Because it's just we've gone way too long. We'll talk about it on Sunday.
Okay. Teaser. We're going to talk about what are you going to talk about on Sunday?
Joe Namath.
Okay.
Lilly?
Chris is going to bring up Joe Namath on the Sunday show, 10:30 a.m. Sunday game day, Sports on Tap game day. Every Sunday during football season, 10:30 until whenever the fuck we feel like finishing, basically. So we're going to give you all your betting advice. We're going to go over every game, give you some fantasy advice, and just do what we do on Sundays.
Yeah.
Maybe have a Bloody Mary.
Yeah.
Maybe eat some McDonald's breakfast sandwiches.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
We're going to do it. All right. That brings us to the end of this week's show. This is episode 84. Give us a like, a share, and a follow on our social media like Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Twitch, and YouTube. You can find all of our podcasts on your favorite or least favorite podcast provider. Check out SOTDET.com. You can click on shop and buy some merchandise.
Like red hoodies.
Buy some red
hooded sweatshirt.
You can buy some red hooded sweatshirts that have Sports on Tap Detroit on them, along with a bunch of other merchandise there. That's SOTDET.com. On behalf of Chris and Frank, we are Sports on Tap Detroit. See you on Sunday.
And that is it.